Hello everyone, welcome back to another sweet savory side dish video. Today we are doing zucchini, and this has to be my favorite video yet because all three of these recipes turned out amazing. Of course, we always start out with our sweet recipe, and today that is zucchini brownies. So take 1 cup of whole wheat flour or almond flour if you are gluten sensitive, a half a cup of cacao powder, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. And then you're just going to mix all of this together, and these are just your dry ingredients, so we want to make sure these are well incorporated before we add our wet ingredients. Now it is time to add our wet ingredients, which includes 1 large egg, 1/2 cup of honey, and 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil. Mix this until everything is well incorporated and there are no clumps in your batter. Now we are going to fold in 2 cups of shredded zucchini. Next, spread your batter in an 8x8 baking pan. I highly recommend these silicone dishes. These are wonderful. They sell them in 8x8 pans, they sell them in muffin tins. These are a great investment. Place the brownies in an oven preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Our next recipe is zucchini crust pizza, and I was so pleasantly surprised with how this turned out. I've had trouble in the past when it comes to making vegetable crust pizza because it seems like there's too much moisture in the crust, but this zucchini crust pizza actually holds up that you can have a slice of pizza in your hands. Not only did this turn out delicious, but it is so easy. For this recipe, you need 1 zucchini, Italian seasoning, 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese, and 2 eggs. Cut the stem off of the zucchini and grate into large pieces. Spread the zucchini out into an even layer, and using a paper towel, get as much of the moisture from the zucchini as you possibly can. Transfer the dried zucchini to a medium mixing bowl. Next, add the mozzarella, Italian seasoning, and eggs. Mix until everything is well incorporated. Spread a thin layer of the zucchini mixture on a baking dish lined with parchment paper. You want to get your crust as thin as possible without having any holes in it. This will allow as much moisture as possible to escape while baking and will get your crust as crispy as possible. Place this in an oven preheated to 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Remove the crust from the oven and, using a spatula, flip the crust over to the other side. Place the crust back in the oven for another 5 to 7 minutes. The toppings are where things get fun, and since this is a low-carb pizza crust, you can get a little crazy. Today I decided to keep it reasonably healthy with a tomato, basil, mozzarella topping. So I just put a thin layer of basil pesto down as my sauce. I get this basil pesto from Costco. It is pre-made and it is absolutely delicious. Next, I added a generous layer of shredded mozzarella cheese, followed by some thick slices of fresh tomato and another sprinkling of mozzarella cheese. Place this back in the oven for 5 to 7 minutes or until your cheese is melted. This next recipe is one that I will be making quite often now that I know how delicious it is. It is the perfect low-carb snack, and that is the zucchini tahini hummus. So for this recipe, you will need 1 zucchini, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cumin, a half a cup of tahini, chili powder, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Cut your zucchini into large chunks. It doesn't really matter how big or small they are, considering we will be throwing this into a food processor later. But for right now, we need to steam the zucchini. Now, I have this microwavable steamer. I got this from Pampered Chef, and it's amazing. It steams vegetables anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes. I think this zucchini took me 3 minutes. But once that is done being steamed, you want to drain the liquid from the zucchini. Place the steamed zucchini into a food processor, followed by the olive oil, tahini, salt and cumin, and a dash of chili powder. Process on high until a smooth consistency is achieved. Transfer to a serving dish and allow to cool in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. Before serving, top with extra olive oil and spices if desired. Be sure to hit the subscribe button because I post new videos every Monday and Thursday. I'll see you in the next video.